tour mornings, my friends. So have you ever felt like lost, stuck, or frustrated, and you knew that asking for help could be the answer, yet for some reason there was something inside you that kept you from doing it? Well, if you have, first of all, you would be in good company. You're not alone. That's totally normal. And today we're going to talk about why. And why it's important we understand why help can be so helpful. Why help can be so helpful. So Chuck Swindoll says that nobody is a whole chain. Each one is a link, but take away one link and the chain is broken. Nobody is a whole team. Each one is a player, but take away one player and the game is forfeited. Nobody is a whole orchestra. Each one is a musician, but take away one musician and the symphony is incomplete. You guessed it. We need each other. You need someone and someone needs you. Isolated islands, we are not. That's powerful. It kind of sends shivers down my spine when I think about it. You know, Charles Darwin, when he made his impact on society, you know, one of the biggest impacts was the idea of the survival of the fittest. And that's that, you know, the strongest among us will rise and the weakest will fall. And along with that idea came this notion that competition is the key to growth, competition is the key to excellence, and competition is what drives our evolution. And what we found as, you know, science has gone farther and the study of human dynamics has moved farther is that it's not competition. It's cooperation that leads to growth. It's cooperation that leads to evolution. You know, when we spoke about just a little bit ago, you know, that the team needs to cooperate in order to win the game. That the symphony needs each musician to cooperate with each other in order to create the music. And the chain needs the cooperation of every link in order to support the load and the weight of the burden that it's carrying. Chuck Swindoll goes on to say, he says, to make this thing called life work, we gotta lean and support and relate and respond and give and take and confess and forgive and reach out and embrace and release and rely. Since none of us is a whole, independent, self-sufficient, super capable, all-powerful hotshot, let's quit acting like we are. Life's lonely enough without playing that silly role. The game's over, let's link up. So living a life with no support, no one to bounce ideas off, you know, nobody to help us where we feel weak or frail is lonely. And it stunts our growth, it stunts our impact, it stunts what we're trying to complete or do. And, you know, as capable as each one of us is, you know, for the major accomplishments, the wins, the victories that you've had inside of your life, each one of those, if we look at it closely, you could probably go back, you can see, you know, in the background that there was cooperation and that there were other players involved. Like, we are not solo players in the game of life. Every great accomplishment requires cooperation. You know, like there would be no Declaration of Independence if it wasn't for the cooperation of the people involved. Harriet Tubman wouldn't have been able to free slaves if it wasn't for the cooperation of everybody to take those risks and gambles and put their faith inside of her. It took cooperation. You know, every great accomplishment requires cooperation from the whole. And so if we go back, we look, Andy Stanley says, self-evaluation is helpful, but evaluation from someone else is essential. Like when we think about our lives, like we can kind of think of it like this, that we are rats in a maze in a way. I mean, we're a whole lot more than that, but you know, we're trying to navigate our life or navigate this big thing that we're trying to complete. And we can see the hallway in front of us. We know the path that we have taken behind us. We can see the corner up ahead, but what's in front of that we don't see. And there is another perspective of the maze that would give us a completely different view or idea about the direction that we're going. And this is where having somebody there to guide us or asking for help can come in handy, because it's like goes back to what we were talking about a while ago, and that's perception. If we can shift our perception, which is what getting help from somebody can do, they're there, they can identify where we're weak. They can identify where we're not living up to our potential, and they can identify our strengths that could get us to that other side, this destination that we want to go. And so having help from people, asking help for people, gives us that perspective shift that so often is all we need in order to break through what's been holding us back. So often it's our beliefs about ourselves, about what we're capable of, about what we can do. And those beliefs aren't based on fact. They're not based on reality. They're based on the story that we've been telling ourselves from the experiences that we've had in our past. It's just repetition of thought. It's not real. So asking for help or one of those things, that's what can break us from that pattern. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a step towards growth, it's a step toward accomplishment, and it's a step towards success. And it shows courage and dedication to rise unconquered. All right, guys, if you appreciate this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Share if you feel it is beneficial. And if you're not already subscribed, do so. If Mentor Mornings, the focus is on helping you own your journey and fuel your day, and I will be back here tomorrow. If you guys feel like you're ready to take the next step towards how to create impact inside home, country, community, download that free PDF that's down in the description. I think that you will get a lot from it. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Rise unconquered.